Social media is an entirely different world on its own, and you should believe everything you see there at your own risk. From vacation destinations that look nothing like what you see on Instagram, to celebrity photos that don't match up with reality, here are 50 videos and photos that prove that Instagram versus reality is not what it seems. Number 50. The Great Wall of China. Tourist destinations like the Great Wall of China offer a perfect photo op to update your Instagram gallery. While your favorite travel influencer may have posted a glamorous picture of the enticing scenery and a lonely part, in reality, things aren't always as they seem. Most pictures taken at the Great Wall often depict a false sense of solitude that is largely non-existent, owing to the level of tourist activity that takes place at the ancient monument. The Great Wall of China gets over 10 million visitors every year, so don't believe everything you see on Instagram. This place is most likely always packed. Number 49. Aging backwards. People started calling out this guy after his real picture was leaked online. Apparently, he claims to be just 31 years old, while flashing fake cars and watches he couldn't possibly own. But in his real picture, he looks at least 50. His receding hairline a testament to the passage of time that is never reflected in the pictures he posts. To be honest, though, he looks quite good for his age in this real, unedited picture. Why he chose to deceive everyone on the internet still remains a mystery. Number 48. Picnic at the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is a dream destination for lovers. From high-top proposals to romantic picnics at the base of the towering structure, the picturesque scenery makes it perfect for lovers who are looking to make memories that will last forever. But before you get inspired by the Instagram vacation post, you should see what this place really looks like on a regular day. Getting a private moment is almost impossible, as there are hundreds of lovers with the same idea as you. Just imagine trying to find a spot in this place. It's a complete nightmare. Number 47. Sunbathing in Rio de Janeiro. This beach in Brazil is a famous destination spot with a scenic view that will literally take your breath away. Sunbathing at this spot is a dream for many, but is this actually what it looks like in real life? Well, not really. Just like most of these vacation spots, this place is usually packed to the brim on a normal day. Imagine taking a trip to your dream destination, only to find out that thousands of other people chose that same day to visit. That'll most definitely kill the vibe. Number 46. Mirror Lake. Bali is one of the most visited places in the world, and for good reason. The city is famous for its abundance in picturesque locations, just like this one. Finding a picture of this Mirror Lake on Instagram will have you planning a trip in your imagination. But behind the scenes of these perfectly planned images, there is a rigorous process that is not often reflected in the final image. Even more tiring is the fact that you may have to stand in a queue for long hours after paying a hefty fee just to take this one perfect picture. Number 45. Times Square. Did you know that the New York Times Square in Manhattan is one of the most visited places in the world? The skyscrapers, billboards, and beautiful lights that decorate the scenery paint a perfect picture of an urban wonderland. But there's a part of this place most people love to keep out of their Instagram pictures and videos. Trash bags litter everywhere, a stark contrast to the clean streets often portrayed on social media. Even more fascinating are the famous rats of Times Square, known to be so bold, they would literally get on the train with you. Number 44. Human selfie stick. The Kardashians are famous for their over-exaggerated idea of beauty that creates unrealistic standards for women. But this one right here is downright strange. In this video, Kim Kardashian and her crew enjoy a boat ride as they film their famous reality show. While trying to take a selfie, Kim calls one of the videographers behind the scenes to help her. When the final image was posted online, it looked as though she had taken it herself. If this behind-the-scenes image was never posted, it would have been practically impossible to detect that the selfie was taken by someone else. Number 43. The gorgeous beach of the Maldives. The Maldives have become synonymous with luxurious vacations, scenic beaches, and expensive beach houses that will leave you jealous. On Instagram, the Maldives is marketed as a perfect place, straight out of your fantasy. But in reality, the gorgeous beaches are usually far from what you see online. Some of these spots are littered with garbage and trash at every corner. a stark contrast to the clean beaches the tourist trap tries to market online. Number 42, makeup or no makeup. This lady constantly dazzles her followers with surprisingly perfect images, amassing a ton of them with these carefully edited and heavily made-up faces. Imagine the surprise when she finally shows up without all the makeup, filters, and editing. It's almost like they're two entirely different people. With a natural face this beautiful, it's quite strange why she would need to alter her look so much for cheap clicks and comments. Number 41. Holiday spot in Bali. Crafting the perfect Instagram content doesn't always require too much photo manipulation or video editing skills. Sometimes you just need to focus on the good and ignore the bad. Take this vacation spot in Bali, for example. Judging by this video, you would think this is the best you could ever be. The beach houses, the pool, and the palm trees make this seem like a fantasy wonderland. But when you turn the camera around, the scenery behind you offers quite a different view that looks like it doesn't really fit with the rest of the surroundings. Number 40. Behind the scenes in Santorini. The Greek island of Santorini is one of the most famous vacation destinations in the world. Everybody knows this place, and most people dream of feasting their eyes on its alluring beauty at least once in a lifetime. However, before planning a trip to Santorini, you may need to lower your expectations just a little bit. On Instagram, it looks like a peaceful, serene environment, but on the flip side, you will find yourself in an overcrowded and not-so-friendly environment where fantasy doesn't really fit into reality. Trying to take a picture here is a tug of war, as your favorite spot is most likely everyone else's favorite too. Number 39. Is that really you? Okay, this one wasn't posted on Instagram, so let's just call it an honorable mention. While browsing through a dating site, one user found this cleverly edited photo that shows no single indication of manipulation or editing. With a body like that, it's pretty surprising that this guy would even need to get on dating sites to find women. But then again, the internet doesn't lie, and everything you see online is real, right? Number 38. Khloe Kardashian. Before we go on, you should probably know that you'll see a couple of your favorite celebrities on this list, and some of them may even appear more than once. Another member of the Kardashians family, Khloe practically posts tons of carefully edited pictures online. But when this paparazzi image found its way online, people were left wondering which one was the real Khloe. Cases like this will make you question whether makeup should be legal in the first place. Number 37. Catwoman. When this image of Jocelyn Wildenstein got leaked online, the internet went haywire. Even though it's pretty obvious, this 81-year-old socialite claims she has never gone under the knife. The sculpted, smoky eyeshadow with flecks of metallic silver and the usual feline touch looks so out of place that she could actually be mistaken for a wax figure. But hey, it's the internet, and everything is 100% real. Number 36. Real versus tagged. Enhancing your physical appearance in pictures is not really a terrible thing to do, but when you take it too far, you may likely get more negative comments than you bargained for. This young lady thought she had everyone fooled with her perfectly enhanced hips, but things didn't really add up when the hips were absent in a tagged picture. Sadly, these hips did lie. Number 35. Super bloom under attack. Photographers go through a lot of stress to find the perfect spot to take the perfect shot. Sometimes even nature suffers the wrath of these Instagrammers, like this flower field in California, which produced this stunningly beautiful picture. But a behind-the-scenes image reveals the state of the flowers after the photograph was taken, and it's definitely not fair what this lady did to the super bloom. Admittedly, though, the picture came out really nice. Number 34. Kylie Jenner Instagram versus TV. We're back again with your favorite internet family, the Kardashians. This time it's Kylie Jenner who takes the center stage. A couple of years ago, Kylie posted this beautiful selfie that seemed to have been posted without any editing whatsoever. Later that day, she appeared on a TV show, and the audience was shocked at the stark difference between the Instagram picture and what she looked like in real life. Although many believe that these people are not necessarily hurting anybody, so we should just live and let live. But the reality is that cases like this create false beauty standards for women, when even the models themselves don't look like that. Number 33. Photoshop gone wrong. How hot do you have to be to get even the Colosseum and the fence distorted? Seriously though, there are healthier ways to improve the state of your body, rather than posting pictures that massage your ego and get you cheap attention online. On the other hand, whoever was responsible for this Photoshop should be fired immediately, because this is unprofessionalism at its peak. Hopefully she didn't pay to get this done, because now she may need to get her money back. Number 32. Hips don't lie. Whenever you choose to alter your appearance in a picture, try to make sure your friends are going to be photoshopping too. Imagine the rude shock this lady will have to face after discovering that her friend had posted another picture she was featured in that didn't really look exactly like the one she posted. The difference between the two pictures are miles apart. Seriously, why would you even enhance your photo to this extent? Guess some people really need to learn how to love their bodies. Number 31. Private beach in Thailand. This lady's view of the waters at a supposedly private beach in Thailand may have you clenching your fist in jealousy, wishing that was you right there. But on the flip side, the reality isn't that exciting. Instead of a place of solitude that offers a private experience, you may find yourself in the midst of a heavy crowd, fighting to take the perfect picture just like you are too. While this shouldn't necessarily ruin your vacation, it's sure nice to know what the experience would be like before venturing out there. Number 30. Sunset at the Stonehenge. The famous Stonehenge in the United Kingdom is one of the most mysterious and alluring sights in the world. Watching the sunset here is like staring into paradise. Beyond the air of mystique that surrounds the ancient monuments, this place also offers an opportunity for a perfect Instagram photograph, especially for travel bloggers. But don't be fooled by these perfectly planned photographs. The reality might just hit you like a bus out of nowhere. However, you shouldn't let the heavy crowds discourage you from visiting this ancient wonderland. Just keep in mind that you may need to squeeze yourself through a crowd to get that picture you've always wanted. Number 29. Hanging out at the Spanish Steps. If you're a hopeless romantic like many of us, walking down the Spanish Steps in Italy with your arms wrapped around your sweetheart would be a dream come true. But unless you're willing to do that at night, when there would be no one else around, chances are this dream may never become reality, or at least not in the way you would expect. Although this picture may lead you to think that the spot is always free of other people, the reality is quite different. If you don't mind having dozens of people in your shot though, the adventure is still worth exploring. Number 28. Admiring the Niagara Falls. How about a lone trip to one of the most fascinating natural wonders in the world, Niagara Falls? Standing at the border between Canada and the United States, Niagara Falls is a tourist hotspot. With an estimated 30 million people visiting the waterfalls every year, it shouldn't come as a surprise that you may likely find a crowd here every time you visit. But unlike the other crowded vacation spots we've talked about in this video, this one can be pretty huge. Try not to lose your phone, your shoe, or even a limb in this mammoth crowd. Number 27. Visiting the Forbidden City in Beijing. This ancient landmark was constructed between 1406 and 1420 and serves as the imperial palace of the Qing and Ming dynasty. But it turns out that this palace may not be so forbidden after all. Before you pay a visit to this finely crafted architectural piece, you should know that instead of a vast, empty space, you may be greeted by a crowd so large that it's pretty easy to get lost. Number 26. Perfect shot in Bali. This clip shows a guy sitting in a treehouse in Bali, enjoying a scenic view that seems straight out of a travel magazine. While there is absolutely nothing wrong with the breathtakingly beautiful view, the cabin itself doesn't really fit into the context of the surroundings. As he takes us on a tour of the luxurious treehouse, you may find yourself asking why it was so hard to invest just a little more money in making the cabin as alluring as the scenes that surround it. Number 25. Angles are everything. One photography trick that many Instagram influencers have been able to master well is the manipulation of angles. This way, they don't have to do too much editing or over-manipulate the photos. Like this photo on the left, although obviously edited, the angle at which the picture was taken created an illusion that'll be hard to detect even for the sharpest of eyes. But on the right, you will discover that these hips aren't really as curvy as they made them look. So, lower your beauty standards a little bit, because even your favorite models and influencers aren't as curvy as they make you think they are. Number 24. False standards. Talk about beauty standards. Instagram influencers are notorious for always pushing a narrative that even they struggle to fit in on their best days. Posing in gyms for their Instagram followers, these guys try to sell you the idea that you can look exactly like them, if only you were willing to spend as much time working out as they do. But in reality, even the most slender fitness models struggle with rounded tummies and soft legs. Those Instagram pictures you see have been cleverly edited by expert photo editors. Number 23. Perfect poses for perfect pictures. Another trick these influencers use to sell their illusion is by mastering super flattering poses that focus more on the perfect body features, taking your gaze away from the imperfections. However, these pictures screaming of body goals look quite different when you take a look from a different point of view. You can only suck that stomach in for so long, right? Sometimes you just need to breathe. Number 22. Airplane legroom. Legrooms on planes only exist on Instagram. Most people already know this, but it's worth mentioning. While Instagram may convince you that this is a good thing and makes for a perfect photo op, the truth is that flying with little to no legroom is pretty uncomfortable. Unless you're willing to pay more to upgrade your seats, chances are you may have to endure hours of pain before getting to your destination. Number 21. Plastic surgery on Instagram versus real life. These days, almost everyone has gotten some work done. While the results of some of these cosmetic surgeries may look stunning on Instagram with heavy editing, meeting these people in real life may have you questioning if you really want to follow in their footsteps. While there's nothing wrong with going under the knife if you want to, some of these guys take it to the extreme. Number 20. Doja Cat. One celebrity who isn't afraid to show what she looks like in real life is Doja Cat. Although she has gotten a lot of heat for this, Doja seems to be comfortable in her own skin and isn't afraid to express a little weirdness on social media. Although she has tons of perfectly taken photographs online, her gallery also features some that might just be a little strange. However, many have also fallen in love with all her alter egos and can't seem to get enough of her multiple personalities. Number 19. Trolltunga. Trying to recreate this perfect image would be practically impossible, that is, unless you're a professional photographer. Unlike the alluring scenes of this first photograph, this Norwegian rock formation isn't as secluded as portrayed, and you'll be surrounded by tons of people trying to take the same kind of picture you've always dreamed of. If you're up for it, though, this could be an adventure of a lifetime, so who are we to judge? Number 18. The Mona Lisa. You would think that catching a glimpse of an art piece as classic as the Mona Lisa would be a breeze, but as it turns out, you may have to wrestle your way to the front of the crowd to even be able to see the portrait. If you're unlucky enough to find yourself at the back of the crowd, you may as well just turn back and go home, because your chances of capturing that selfie you've always wanted would be slim to none. Number 17. Taj Mahal. A perfect Instagram image of the Taj Mahal may have you believe that this tourist hotspot is always secluded, but from the personal experiences of many people who have visited this iconic spot in the past, it's most likely always packed. The allure of the marble mausoleum has attracted quite a number of tourists over the years, and getting that picture you really want may be harder than you think. Number 16. Pyramids of Giza. Imagine traveling for miles by camel, trying to spend some alone time at the Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, only to find yourself stuck in a long queue that stretches for miles. While this photo may convince you that you're probably the only person making that trip, the reality is quite different. For most parts of the year, this archaeological masterpiece is always surrounded by hundreds of tourists who travel to the location for miles on camels just like you, so you may need to wait your turn. Number 15. La Serenissima. Venice is one of the most beautiful places in the world and, of course, a really huge tourist trap. While your travel agency may have lured you with these gorgeous sights and promises of a pleasurable experience, things may not really be as they seem. You see, walking around Venice is pretty chaotic. There are tons of tourists around, not to mention the locals trying to go about their daily business. Although this may not necessarily ruin your vacation, it'll probably affect your experience in this beautiful city. Number 14. Just breathe. Although your favorite Instagram model or influencer may look super relaxed in their photos, the truth is, they're probably trying really hard to look as good as they can. It may be pretty hard to believe, but this effortless pose you see online was achieved with a whole lot of effort. Turning on the side to find the perfect angle, sucking in their stomachs, and sometimes having multiple takes to choose from is how these models create these alluring images, so it's probably not as easy as they make it seem. Number 13. The Tube. The London Underground has witnessed its fair share of Instagram influencers posing for the perfect pictures, creating the false impression that the Tube is a triumph of human endeavor and an engineering feat. But in reality, it is not a place you really want to be on a lonely, dark night. On its worst day, the Tube looks something like this. Number 12. Free the belly. In a world where public perception reigns supreme, many influencers and Instagram models find themselves compelled to always appear perfect to a bunch of strangers on the internet. Some people, however, have learned to love themselves the way they are, on the way to becoming the person they wish to be. Like this woman with over 37,000 followers on Instagram, who takes a jibe at some of these influencers by posting a picture of herself sucking in her belly, side by side with another where she's breathing free. Number 11. Down the slide we go. Taking your kids out for a fun time at the park can be a perfect opportunity to capture a lasting memory for the gram. Most people would rather post pictures of their kids being well behaved, but behind the scenes, it's sometimes a whirlwind trying to get them coordinated. Number 10. Buff or not, here we come. We can't really say what's going on here because this picture is so grossly over-edited. It's hard to figure out if these are actual people or mannequins. Body goals or not, these pictures are downright bizarre and will have you questioning every single thing you see on social media. From the obviously unreal abs to the perfect faces, everything about these images screams fake. Number 9. Vatican Museums. Built over the tomb of St. Peter's, the papal residence in Rome is a magnificent place to visit. The Vatican Museums feature some of the world's most expensive art collections. To take in the allure of this place, however, you must be ready to queue over and over and over again, and that's not even an exaggeration. But if you're up for it, why not, right? Number 8. Capilano Suspension Bridge. Over 1 million people visit this attraction in British Columbia every year, so you should expect the bridge to sway and bounce as you trod the path with hundreds of other people. You might need to forget about taking that perfect picture you had in mind, unless you're willing to show up before everybody else, which is practically impossible because everybody's always trying to beat everybody to the location, so it's most likely always packed. Number 7. Bebe Rexha. Her soothing voice aside, many fans drool over Baby Rexha because of her amazing body, which is still beautiful anyway, regardless of how she looks. But the distinctive difference between this carefully edited Instagram post and another shot taken by a photographer will make you question if anything you see on social media is real. Number 6. No edits. This Instagram influencer claims she never edits her pictures or manipulates them in any way. But the stark difference between these two images is pretty obvious. It's one thing to fool your audience with fake images, and it's another thing to lie to them about it. This influencer has honed both skills to near perfection, and even though she's been called out many times, she doesn't seem to ever plan to stop. Before we go on with the rest of the video, here's our subscribers' pick for today. Back in December 2016, YouTuber and content creator Trisha Paytas posted a couple of videos online breaking down and crying after finding out that her then-boyfriend was gay. In one of these videos, she revealed her natural, unfiltered face to the shock of every one of her followers. Paytas, who often appeared flawless in her pictures and videos, looked nothing like her social media posts. And the revelation sent a massive shockwave through her fan base. Let us know your thoughts about this in the comments. Now let's get back to the video. Number 5. Impossible wastes. Dating sites offer many people the opportunity to sell a fake version of themselves to ignorant strangers. But we really doubt if anyone would ever believe that this picture was real. At the very first glance, you will find yourself wondering where the internal organs are, or maybe she's an android robot or something. Seriously, this is just simply delusional, to say the least. Number 4. 4 shades of filters. Watch as this lady transforms from her heavily filtered self to her real, natural face. In the first frame, she basically looks like a model, although the filter is not so obvious. But by the time you get to the last frame, she has practically transformed into an entirely different person, totally unrecognizable from the first frame. It's astounding how people are comfortable perpetrating such a level of falsehood on the internet. Number 3. Madonna. On Instagram, the 63-year-old iconic superstar always finds a way to look stunning, flawless, and considerably younger. But when you take the filters and the makeup off, she's barely recognizable. Many people have often criticized her for this venture into reversing her aging process, but it seems to make her happy. So, once again, who are we to judge? Number 2. To filter or not to filter. Everything in this image looks normal until you look at the face of the woman on the right. We don't really know why she decided to only edit her face and leave the rest the way they are, but it's pretty obvious that an expert photo editor has done some serious work on that face. Just look at it. Number 1. Jennifer Lopez. You just gotta love J-Lo. She remains one of the very few celebrities who have accepted their aging process, and she always looks fabulous. Whether with makeup on or not, filters or not, Jenny from the block is always many shades of awesome, and you can't even fault that. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.